welcome back. This is some cool stuff. I read the project update, and then I guess a little piece of information got released, and there was some confusion about how maybe the rarities weren't as there wasn't the same relevance in terms of price disparity versus in the game. But now after reading this, I see that there is. So fill us in on some of the stuff that went on.
Like the community had a good point. The difference between how much a common would earn in the factory and the redescent, but there is layers of the game. For example, the redescent, he is so rare that it doesn't even make sense for him to be working in the factory, right? But he gets much more from that. There is some aspect that will be released in the future that you're gonna have like one little bit that will represent you. For example, let's say you have 20 little bits. All of them will be working for that one, because that one will be the one that owns a house, or that what one will be the one that will do all the other things with the little bugs of the others.
So my favorite little bit that I have is actually a rare little bit. And I have legendaries and I have epics, but I have this one rare little bit that I'm like, yo, that's me. Is that fine? Can I have the legendaries work under the rares and so, like in terms of the structure you're talking about, or does it matter?
Exactly. Eventually, you have like a redescent one, and you don't use it as your main, but you're trying to earn things. Definitely will be people that want the redescent to represent themselves, because it's 110,000. If we change something about the numbers, having a redescent will be so overpowered,
right?
And like you take the fun away from the other 9,900. And then like the redescent will not have value because there's going to be no players playing the game that nobody wants to play. So we agree with the community that we need to add value for that. And the way to do that is outside the game. For example, like creating perks and benefits inside the community. We have been already talked with some people that will help us like implement that.
Did I see on Discord, because you just reminded me, there was if you owned an iridescent, you were entered into a raffle, right? Did you recently do something like that? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So this is for the partnership we had with Multiworms, the sponsor of this video.
Yes, that's right, my man.
Give a damn about it when I feel like it.
With a thriving ecosystem, the highly coveted Dirt token, limited edition collaborations, auctions, giveaways, and more, Multiworms continues to wiggle a trail for NFTs on the MultiVAC blockchain.
We made like the little worms, right? And then we're gonna have like one that just owners of the redescent will be able to participate. We made like 1,000 little bits in the airdrop. So there's definitely a possibility that there is some iridescent that are lost in some wallet of someone that is not interested on anything related to the game. We can have like a VIP group for the iridescent, like a semi-VIP group for legendary, let's say.
I feel like I'm talking to like God almost, because you could literally created my identity. Like my identity that I have now everywhere, literally you created, which is hilarious to think about with these little worms, like how far they've gone. But now I'm literally associated with that identity. I think that's so funny to be able to talk to somebody like that. So that's incredible. But I was reading over this paper and I got into some more about the rarities and how they're going to play a big role in the economy. And I thought the skill thing was really what stuck out to me. Do you want to explain a little more about that?
So we're gonna have like the first 3 buildings, the start of the sources that will create little bugs, the sinks that will be where you can waste little bugs, and then we're gonna have this balance to see how we're gonna manage the economy.
Just in case somebody doesn't know, because they didn't read this yet, right? Your sources is gonna be things like daily rewards, the factory, staking, and things like that where you're earning income. So that's where most of the building is gonna be. And then you have a few things like I think the casino, and there was the world map that are going to be your sinks, which basically are going to take money. And that's correct?
For the first step of the game, testing the base and everything, yes, this will be the first patch, like the beginning. So then we have like the second update. This one, it's basically when we're going to start having like player house, player stores, like, and then we will have the implement of professions and skills. For example, every time that your little bit will work in the factory, for the amount of hours that he works, he will improve some percentage on that skill that right now it's called proficiency on the factory. And then that will add you a multiplier for the amount that you win. The rarer your little bit is, the more your multiplier will make sense for you.
So basically, you learn the skill faster. So if you're a legendary, you're gonna learn your skills faster and acquire them faster than say if you're a common.
Yes, the rarer you are, the faster you upgrade your little bit, and more little bucks you won with time with that. We can't create like exclusive content for rarities. It's 10,000 little bits. A lot of people have a lot of little bits. If you limit the game for people that wants to play, and then like the guy can just buy one common, and he have to be able to play the game and achieve everything in the game.
So tell us a little bit about, I guess, how are these items acquired initially that people would be buying and selling at the store, and how does that kind of work in as the game progresses?
We're gonna add like some skills that will be like always be with your little bit. So for example, we're gonna have like gathering. That will be just the process of gathering stuff, and then we'll give you like resource materials like iron, wood.
If you sell your NFT, do those skills sell with the NFT? Are they like basically on the blockchain?
You're gonna be able to sell your little bit, and he will have all the skills that you achieved before, adding value for a little bit the more you play that little bit. But at the same time, we think that could be interesting because we're gonna always have some rebels and people that we want to reset their little bit and sell it like without all the achievements for someone to experience everything again. So right now, you're gonna be able to gather items. Those will be a sort of NFT. You'll be able to sell them for other people. So every day you'll be able to gather with your little bit. And you're gonna click, authorize on the MetaMask. Then you will get like this item. This will be random, open source. You'll be able to see all the code for sure. And so like we're gonna have like a market, or you will be able to sell the items on the market for other players that want to create something. In the little bit world, it was something very complicated and they had to move to another planet. So it's gonna be like, for example, sometimes you're gonna gather something and it's gonna be like a quest item that will be used to help the game evolve. And all this will create like an economy where people will be able to sell or everything. For example, if you wanna buy a house, you can buy the lot, right? And then after that, you'll be able to build your house. And how you're gonna build with gathering. You're gonna have like a lot of items that you need. So you can buy from other people, or you can gather yourself.
Are you able to acquire little bucks outside of the game? Like, are you eventually gonna be able to like swap for little bucks, or is it something that's only acquired in the game?
That's something that we can't control. So for example, if someone wants to add liquidity on MTV Swap, for example,
They can do
it.
So there's going to be a lot of different strategies and options and all sorts of ways to kind of approach this game. Whether you want to say buy high on a skilled player and so you don't have to spend as much time in there, or really experience the game from someone low and build it up and then sell high when you finally got that thing.
As you grow, we will need like people to be able to rent their little bits for other people. We're going to create features that will be easy to digest, but the problem is that we have been talking with some artists right now, like some sound designs, like we have some big projects, big people working in the community. So I think Little Bits would be a good opportunity to spread the word about not just our chain, but the game and everything.
You could have businesses, sponsoring buildings that are sinks in there to earn little bucks, in the future and things of that nature. I mean, there's just so many opportunities for different things in there because of the whole structure of the economy and the environment and all that kind of stuff.
We can have like some outdoors and there's going to be like a Nike. That's big. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but imagine that if all your little bits all of a sudden, You can get rid of your slippers and you can put on Nikes. There's just a lot of opportunity with that. It's crazy. And then my daughter plays Roblox, and I swear I've spent more money on digital clothes for her than I have on real clothes.
We have some ideas about this, but I will not release anything about about
that's
clothing.
okay.
So as you're moving from the beginning towards the zenith and then towards the later stages, can you tell us a little bit about this kind of roadmap? Like, what's the plan, kind of?
LittleBits will be more like a turn-based game. Like you will be able to play the game. Like you can check the game three, 4, 5 times a day, and this will take like 5 minutes each time maximum. So it's not like something that you're going to be active playing every day.
Can you talk a little bit about the social aspect on how that's going to progress in the game? Obviously, each person will have their own world. Will you be able to see other people in your world, and how does that kind of work?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, definitely.
Oh,
So
awesome.
we're gonna. That's why we have like this express yourself in the game, that you're gonna be able to put your little bit in the game. So, for example, you have your house. Everybody will see your house, right? If you want to customize your house, people will see how you customize your house. And what we want is like you're gonna have like some empty space in the front or in the back of the house, most likely in the front, and then you're gonna have like some space that you can add like your little bits there, and you will be the only one that will be able to add your little bit there. So like you are the owner of the house. Also, you can make like some flair, like some Christmas tree in the future, or like you want to change the roof of your house. But we want like the 3 major updates, like not so far apart from each other.
You do the first update, which is kind of like the testing of beta. Do you need to wait to see what kind of response you get before you determine how long the next part rolls out? Or are you kind of just, it's more of like just minor iterations?
I think it's minor iterations. Right now it's where we are making like the big work, let's say, because we like to make everything ourselves. So sometimes making a bush or a tree takes 3 hours to make. Our dev is working on the technical part and everything, numbers. And me and Cole, we are like working 10 hours a day, making just like assets for the game. The development of the game, like the technical part, it's just like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the art can be a lot. You can make like a lot of things. But eventually, the development will just kick in, and then like we will pass, and then we will see, you need like arts, you need animation. Where is the art? So right now we are like taking time like to make as much things on the art side, and then we can speed up the process.
Because once it takes off, you're not going to have as much time to deal in that stuff now. So now's the prep time to get ready for that.
It doesn't make any sense to have the updates like far apart, because they really depend on themselves. So
I wanted to get your take on selling out on MultiVAC a 10,000 mint. Obviously record setting, impressive, and all that kind of stuff. What was your guys' reaction to that?
the last days were very nerve-wracking before the release, and we made so many tests, Pete, so many tests. So I was running 2 scripts on my PC and on my Mac, call the same, and GIFmaker, I think he had 4 scripts on him. But it was just let's have a lot of scripts going, maybe we will never use them. Then he released it. Then the same 5 seconds after that, the script was resolving 800, 600, 863. So all the computers resolving.
Wow.
From this moment still, it's unreal for everyone. The idea of creating the game was something that it was like a dream. The community is helping us to achieve a dream that we'll get back for the community. We was sure that we would sell some. We were not sure that we would sell all of them before we create utility. Now, in the last 2-3 weeks is where we start digesting everything and okay, let's work.
Is there anything else you wanted to share about anything coming up? Anything we missed?
What we are trying to do is to create the best product for the long term. There will be times that the floor price will drop while we are developing.
I call them short-term thinkers. And if you're short-term flipping an NFT or something like that, there's definitely a game in that, and that's cool. But that's not what you guys are creating a platform for. You're creating a platform for the game users and those type of people. You know, the investors are going to do whatever the investors are going to do, but really the game's going to focus on the gaming aspect and building that community aspect out. And that's the true value of the game going forward, not a few extra multivac here and there. I appreciate you having you on again, man, because this was great to share. Everyone's gonna love this. Can we maybe get you back right before the release?
Definitely.
Yeah. I can't wait because I'm looking forward to. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing more about that stuff and seeing how this develops. And yeah, that's about it, man. As always, do your own damn research. Make sure you're comfortable with all the facts that you find out and all the decisions you make before you invest in any NFT project. Don't just listen to dumbasses like me, unless you like listening to dumbasses out there. And then hit the subscribe button below. Talk to you soon.